Welcome to News Today, a PodNu service. Eight-time Pro Bowl linebacker Von Miller has agreed to terms with the Buffalo Bills on a 6-year contract, the team announced Wednesday. Miller's deal is worth $120 million, according to multiple reports. Sources told ESPN's Adam Schefter that it includes $51.5 million guaranteed, including $45 million fully guaranteed at signing. The Bills also brought in the veteran tight end they were looking for, agreeing with former Tampa Bay Buccaneers tight end O.J. Howard on a 1-year contract. Sources told Schefter it's a $3.5 million deal that could be worth up to $5 million. Miller immediately becomes the best pass rusher on the Bills roster, despite the team significantly investing in defensive ends in the past 2 drafts. Buffalo has used 2 second-round picks and 1 first-round selection on the position in the past 2 years, but lacked a player that opposing offenses needed to be consistently aware of. Miller brings the Bills just that. His 41 pressures last season would have been the most on the Bills. Jerry Hughes had a team-high 37 pressures for a defense that generated pressure at the second-highest rate last season, 34% of dropbacks. I'm always gonna put resources in the front. It's just how I believe it should be built, Bills general manager Brandon Beane said earlier this offseason. And don't ever be shocked if you see us trying to add there, free agency or the draft, at any point. In November, the Denver Broncos traded Miller to the Los Angeles Rams for 2022 second and third-round draft picks. Miller, who turns 33 on March 26, was a big part of the Rams' run to the Super Bowl title. Miller had an ankle injury while he was still with the Denver Broncos, but he still had 5 sacks for the Rams in 8 regular season games. Miller was 12th in ESPN's pass rush win rate metric, 20.9%. His next 4 games were even better. He had 2 of those sacks against Cincinnati Bengals quarterback Joe Burrow in the Rams' Super Bowl 56 win. Miller's postseason pass rush win rate of 41.5% was the highest since ESPN started tracking that metric in 2017. Miller had at least 30 pass rush plays that led to a win or loss in at least one of those games. He and his teammate Aaron Donald both had 18 pressures in the Rams' 4 playoff games, which is about the same as many. It was Miller's second Super Bowl title. His 2.5 sacks led to him being named MVP of Super Bowl 50. The Broncos beat the Carolina Panthers 24-10, and Sean McDermott, a Buffalo Bills coach, was the Panthers' defensive coordinator, and Brandon Beane was a member of the front office, which made him the best player. For the first time since Lorenzo Alexander did it in 2016, no Buffalo player has had 10 or more sacks at the end of a season, 12.5. It was Mario Addison who was the only Bills player who had at least 5 sacks last year. He was the only one, 7. Houston Texans, Atlanta Falcons, and Kansas City Chiefs were 3 of the 4 teams that had 1 or fewer players with more than 5 sacks. The Buffalo Bills were one of them. The team was interested in other veteran pass rushers this offseason, as well as adding more free agents to the defensive line. The most sacks of any active player is 115.5. Miller is the most sacks of any player who is still alive. His record for sacks is at least 10 in 7 of his 10 NFL seasons, including a career-high 18.5 in 2012. He was second in Defensive Player of the Year voting in 2012. Because he had surgery on his left ankle, he had to miss the 2020 season. When John Elway was in charge of the Broncos, he chose him as his first draft pick, 2nd overall in 2011. He went on to be named Defensive Rookie of the Year that season. With 8 Pro Bowl selections and 3 first-team All-Pro selections, he became one of the most well-known players in Broncos history. He was also chosen for the All-Decade Team for 2010 by the Hall of Fame's Board of Selectors. Dawson Knox had a great season last year, catching 49 passes for 587 yards. Howard will work with him. Rob Gronkowski of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and Josh Knox of the Buffalo Bills both had the most touchdowns at their positions. In 2021, Knox became a favorite target for quarterback Josh Allen, 9. When Ken Dorsey is in charge of the offense for the first time this season, Howard will be another weapon for Allen, and the offense will likely use more two tight end sets. In fact, ESPN stats and information found that the Bills used 2 or more tight ends on a league-low 100 plays last season. The first 3 seasons of Howard's career, before Gronkowski moved to Tampa Bay, he had more than 400 receiving yards in each of them.